I just want to tell you that most of life is rather boring, and I want to talk about that because I think the mundane is actually really, really exciting, and you should be happy for having a mundane life or a boring life. So if you don't know me, I am Professor Dave Massack. I'm Associate Professor of Innovation Strategy and Entrepreneurship, and I created this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There's so many people that help me out that I want to pay the favor for it to help you out as much as I possibly can. So I think we have these sort of perceptions in our mind that things should be pretty exciting on a day-to-day basis, and that is good. And some days you think that you should be smiling or happy on a daily basis, and that is really good. But much of life is not like that. In fact, most life is really boring, and most life is really mundane, where you do the same tasks every day. You get up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you go off to school or go off to work, and then you come home, you do whatever it is you need to do at night, eat your dinner, and then go back and start that again. And that happens day in and day out, and that's going to happen for your whole entire life. And I think this is something that we don't do a good job of teaching in, whether it is in high school or whether you're in college or you're doing business school, whatever. We don't do a good job of teaching this, that most of life is rather mundane. It's rather boring. We sort of view life in these sort of snapshots, exciting things where all of a sudden all this stuff happens, right? If you think about going back to your history class, for example, in high school, or your history classes in grade school, they're going to teach you about all these amazing events that happen throughout the day and throughout history, and that there was this thing and happened, this thing and happened. But you got to stop and think, those people in those daily lives that they lived at that time were rather boring. They were taxi drivers. They were, back in the day, I heard this great story of this professor at Harvard, and they used to teach people what it was like to be a peasant back in the the 1200s or 1300s. They had the students eat turnips every day because that's what they ate, was root vegetables every day, and it was the same root vegetables every day. And just imagine that is normal. That is life. And when we start thinking that life should be a lot more exciting, or we should be a lot more happier on a daily basis, or that everything should come together a lot easier, is when we start making mistakes. We start getting antsy inside, and we start thinking that we should be doing this and we should be doing that. In fact, much of life is just rather mundane and boring, and learning how to appreciate the sort of amazingness that we have around us and how cool this is around us. Learning to feel the cold air right now and to see my breath. It is really a blessing to have those days, because these days are the things that actually make life go round, right? Those boring, mundane, ordinary days is what life is actually about. Those exciting moments, those things that happen all of a sudden and that are really either pleasant or anxious or just not great. Those things are the things that sort of frame everything else. But the day-to-day, what we do on a daily basis is this. This is it. This is what life's about, getting up and doing the same thing every day and realizing and coming to terms that it's about this day in and day out and getting into that pattern. I think it's very healthy to realize that. And it's healthy to realize that because that's actually how you lose weight. That's actually how you save for your retirement. By the way, if you want to save for your retirement, just save a little bit every paycheck, 10 to 20%. That's all you need to do. So we do 15% of whatever we make goes into investments, and we do that day in and day out. And we never really worry about it. That's how you actually build wealth. That's how you lose weight. That's how you do things, is just getting into that pattern of the sort of mundane action that you do on a daily basis. And it's important to get into those mundane actions, and important to appreciate how amazing it is to be able to do those things day in and day out, and looking around and realizing, oh, it's another cold winter day in January, but it's really exciting to have these cold winter days in January, and we should appreciate these things. So with that, give me a thumbs up, to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.